Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Don't forget, you can listen to this on a podcast on all your normal streaming services. You can also read about Transfer Daily on aftv.co.uk. So if you want to read about it, right, all the transfer rumors of the day, you can go there as well. We got you covered everywhere. First of all, before I start off with the rumors, got to say a big up going out to Matt Turner. He's having a really good time for the USA at the moment. Saved 2 penalties last night in their game against Canada. It was the semi-final of the quarterfinal of the Gold Cup. They're now into the semi-finals. He saved 2 penalties. He's got a great record when it comes to saving penalties. I mean, out of 29 penalties he's faced, he's saved 14. I mean, that's a 48% save ratio. That's outstanding. I mean, the next time there's a penalty in a game, because Ramsdale's penalty saving hasn't been the best, right, in recent times, do you bring Matt Turner on? You know, that is an unbelievable record. But well done to Matt Turner. Funny enough, talking of goalkeepers, I saw Aaron Ramsdale rated in a poll recently as the well, it wasn't a poll, it was an article where they were saying that he's the most valuable goalkeeper now in the world. I don't know exactly how they analyzed it, but they said that he'd be the most expensive goalkeeper in the world right now if he was being sold. And again, a vindication of the transfer policies that Mikel Arteta has been following. So well done to him. And of course, the Arsenal team, they flew out to Germany yesterday for the beginning of their pre-season training and their pre-season tour. They've gone over to Germany and did the same thing last year, went over to Nuremberg, played a friendly over there in Nuremberg before going on to the USA. And lots of players on that plane, heading over there to Germany to get themselves in great shape ahead of the new season. 2 players who weren't on the plane, though, were Declan Rice and Jurrien Timber. Still waiting for the announcements on those two. I don't know, man. By the time Declan Rice is announced, he might have played about 30 games for us already. But surely today, tomorrow, Wednesday, one of those 3 days, you're going to hear the announcement of those 2 players. Jurrien Timber's brother, even yesterday, inadvertently on his Instagram, revealed that, well, the worst kept secret in the world, that Jurrien Timber is joining Arsenal. But the announcements on those 2 imminent, but they weren't on the actual plane, but they are expected to join up with the team when they go on the US tour, which they'll probably be heading out this weekend. So look out for that. Now, another player who was on the plane yesterday was FOLARIN Balogun. Balogun was on the plane over there to Germany, but funny enough, it's a German team today that's showing a lot of interest in him, and that is RB Leipzig. Of course, they lost Nkunku to Chelsea. They're on the lookout for a striker, attacking forwards, and they have identified FOLARIN Balogun as that player. Now, we know that Arsenal are demanding around about £50 million if they are to sell him. But RB Leipzig, just one of the latest teams interested in him. Chelsea, all kind of different teams interested in him. What I'm going to find is what we do with Balogun. There's a lot of little interesting scenarios sort of popping up at the moment with regards to Arsenal and transfers between now and the 1st of September when the window closes. Balogun, will they keep him or not? Now, he's gone out there on the preseason. Fully expect him to go over to America as well, where he'll obviously be very popular being an American player now. And I think Mikel Arteta is going to do a full assessment on him, a bit like what he did with William Saliba last year. So when Saliba came back off of that loan, Arteta still wasn't 100% sure whether he was going to keep him or not. Saw him during pre-season, added it up with all what he'd done the previous season in France and said, nah, we're not selling this guy. He's coming into the team. Will he do the same sort of thing with Balogun? Take a really good look at him during the pre-season, both over there in Germany and also in the States. If he plays really, really well, then maybe he keeps him. And then I think it's then a decision to be made. It will come down, I think, to Balogun or Eddie. And one of those 2 will be moved on. So it's interesting. I think it's a big preseason for both those two players, Balogun and Eddie Nketiah. Whoever comes out on top could be the one that stays, and the other one could be on the move. Interesting to see. Arsenal still being linked with Moussa Diaby today of Bayer Leverkusen. Now, we've been heavily linked with him since the window has opened. £50 million is what Bayer Leverkusen want for him. We're also being told today that Aston Villa have entered the race to sign Moussa Diaby as well. I'll tell you what, Aston Villa are not messing around this transfer window under Unai Emery. They're making some really top signings. But they're said to be interested in Moussa Diaby as well. But let's see how this one plays out. Are Arsenal going to move for Moussa Diaby? Listen, it'd be great, I think, as a signing, especially to have a player that offers really solid competition to Saka. But then I just look at it and think, well, when we was doing the deal for Granit Xhaka, surely we could have just, done some sort of bargaining to get Diaby at the same time. I don't know. Let's wait and see how that one develops out. Again, as I said, Arsenal in no rush now that they've got their key signings in. They're just looking around to see what is quality out there in the market. But the one thing that does worry me a little bit, and again, another thing that's been sort of thrown up, is the Thomas Partey situation. Partey, as we know, been linked with moves here, there, and everywhere. Recently, only even been linked with a move to Manchester United, which is unthinkable. But he's been linked with moves away. Juventus seems to be the team that's really, really interested in bringing him in. Arsenal would demand, at least £30 million. But what if he leaves? If he does leave, surely Arsenal need to get a replacement. And as I said, right, I know there's a lot of people out there saying that, it's Arsenal looking to get rid of him. That's not what I've been told. That's not my understanding. My understanding is more that Arsenal wanted to keep him and that the player himself has decided that, I might want to move on. I've had a lot of headache off the field and stuff like that. Maybe, a new challenge, new energy around the place, and that he would like to move, and his preferred destination is Italy, and not to move over to Saudi Arabia, where Arsenal would then be able to get the big bucks from. But if he goes, surely he has to be replaced. I mean, he's another player. He's over in Germany at the moment. He went over, and then who do we replace him with? We know about Lavia. That Arsenal been interested in Lavia, but it seems like they have not been in any rush whatsoever to get this deal done. They're not going to pay the £50 million. We know that. They're adamant they're not going to pay, even though Southampton are holding out for that. They're saying, Southampton, listen, there's a buyback clause for Manchester City next season for 40 million. So we want 50 million, or we'll just wait until next season. Maybe they'll buy him back. Liverpool are also sort of more the favourites to get Lavia at this moment in time. If not Lavia, who? I mean, Milinkovic-Savic has been linked again today. Corriere dello Sport still saying that Arsenal hold an interest in Milinkovic-Savic, although they do make Juventus the favourites to sign him. They seem to be really going in hot for him at the moment. But he's available this summer for around about £40 million. Now, he's not a deep player like, say, Thomas Partey, but you could, in theory, say, move Declan Rice back into that deep position like what he played for West Ham, and have Milinkovic-Savic playing further forward. There's Chouameni, as we know, who's been linked. And again, there's complications with that one because Real Madrid do not want to sell Chouameni. He's only been there a season. Even though he hasn't figured a lot, they look on him as a long-term player that's going to be in there. But that could all change with Mbappe. If Mbappe is forced out of PSG this summer, and it's starting to look like that could happen, it's looking very toxic over there, it could cause a domino effect, which might mean that Chouameni is available. And what about Caicedo? Could Arsenal go back in for Caicedo? Again, I was told by someone at Arsenal that in January, when Arsenal were going in for Caicedo, that they were still going to go for Declan Rice in the summer. So what's changed? They would both have been very expensive. Caicedo is going to cost now around about £75 million plus. I mean, Brighton would love a bidding more on this one. Even Chelsea at the moment are sort of balking at the price of 75, 80 million pounds for Caicedo. But could Arsenal move back in for him? I certainly feel that Arsenal are going to need to bring in somebody in that defensive midfield position or deep line position. I know we've got Jorginho in there who can do that as well. But if we lose Thomas Partey, which is a big possibility, surely we're leaving ourselves short there. And this is, you know, this summer should be all about building quality squad depth, not weakening an area. And again, I know Declan Rice is coming in, but I'm talking about depth in the squad. And certainly if you've got Declan Rice and you've got Thomas Partey there, that is proper depth. So I'd love to get your views on it. Who would you like to see come in? Or do you think it's just a matter of Arsenal just trying to persuade Partey not to leave at the moment, you know what I mean? And we're set in that area. Let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget, as I said, you can listen to this as a podcast on your streaming services. You can also read it on aftv.co.uk. And of course, you can catch me here every single day. Will we get the announcements today? I don't know, man. I don't know. We take our time with announcements. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.